Hello everyone and welcome back to our 9-month trip around the world, and today we're back in Germany and we finally get to have one of our favorite dishes from our time when we lived here.
We sure did. All right, welcome to Living Phase 2.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Nancy, and we're empty nesters striving to live life to the fullest.
And we are living that full life, going all the way around the world and taking 9 months to do it on the ultimate world cruise.
We are. Well, friends, today we're in Kiel, Germany. Now, this is on the northern coast of Germany along the Baltic Sea here. We're south of Denmark, where we were just at. And one of the interesting things about this port is we have actually connected to shore power.
Yeah, exactly. So as we were getting off the gangway, because Kiel's very walkable, you don't need to really take a bus or anything of that nature. You can get off and walk right into town. We looked over and sure enough, they had us plugged in. So we thought we might take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about that. There's been a big push, obviously, for environmental friendliness, environmental consciousness among cruise ships. And so right before the world cruise kicked off, Royal Caribbean took Serenade of the Seas, our ship, and converted it and added the ability for it to plug into shore power. Now what that means is while we're docked, we don't have to run our engines, and there is a specific engine on Serenade of the Seas. We actually don't run the jet turbine engines that we've talked about before. They have a diesel engine, or a fuel oil engine, I should say, that we run. And of course that does generate pollution as that's happening. Well, many ports are starting to put in the ability to plug your ship in, and now you can run off of that shore power using renewable sources, wind, solar, or however that power is generated, but it's much cleaner than the cruise ship and much more efficient than the cruise ship running its own power. I believe the first time we plugged in was Los Angeles, but we really haven't seen this a lot, until we've got here into some of the Scandinavian countries. And of course, this is now Germany and not Scandinavia, spoiler alert, we are going to see this more and more and more, especially in the Scandinavian countries. So we just think it's absolutely fantastic. It's certainly a big plug, we'll put it that way. It takes these massive cables that are this big and multiple of them to plug in to take the megawatts of power it takes to power a cruise ship from the shore. But it's great to see, and I think you're going to start seeing that more and more with some cruise ships.
I think you will too, which like you said is a really nice thing. And just it's going to take a while for all these ports to start developing the capability of having shore power. So
right, and we're going to talk about this again a little bit when we get to Amsterdam. But yeah, it was a good thing to see.
Well, today was a rainy, chilly day when we got off the ship, but like we said, we were docked right there in town, so it was an easy walk to get into town.
Into the main strip there.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, there's not a whole lot to see and do here in Kiel. Some of the excursions in Royal Caribbean went to Hamburg, and so that's something that you could do. Hamburg's a beautiful city.
Hamburg's a nice one, so if you're looking for a shore excursion, maybe do that. I did find the botanical gardens.
Right, we were gonna do that, except again, it was chilly, it was rainy today, so we just decided we would pass on that.
They're about an hour and a half walk from the port, or about 40 minutes by public transportation.
So it's a trek to get there. They do have a maritime museum as well. So those are some options that you have if you find yourself in Kiel. But Kiel is mainly known for its shopping. It has a very large shopping district. It has some American stores, as you're going to see here in a little bit. And so we started out by walking to the main street area, and we went to St. Nicholas Church.
Right. Now, St. Nicholas Church is actually listed as one of the top 1 or 2 sites in Kiel. So we stopped in the church. It was quite lovely. It was built in the 1200s, refurbished, and of course then redone after the Reformation. So it is a Protestant church now. But yeah, lovely church. Certainly worth a stop to go.
Beautiful crucifix inside.
Yeah. Oh, it was quite stunning actually hanging there. Yeah. Well, we left St. Nicholas, went through, and the amazing thing here was they found out that we at Living Phase 2 were there, and they anointed you queen for the day. It was a fun statue to find.
It was fun, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and the reason that we thought we might just touch on this, the reason there's so much shopping here in Kiel is the Scandinavian countries, which we're getting into, we just left Sweden, we're out getting into Denmark and Norway, are very expensive. And so a lot of people will actually take a ferry, come across from the Scandinavian countries, do their shopping in Germany, and then come back over to the Scandinavian countries. So that's why there's so much shopping here. Well, we went ahead and went on down the street, and we were on the hunt for our favorite lunchtime meal, we'll say, in Germany.
Right. So
and it's not a bratwurst, and it's not a Wienerwurst.
It's not. It's a Dornier Kabab. So we would have a Dornier Kabab probably almost once a week when we lived in Germany, because Germany has had a lot of immigrants come over from Turkey, and they've brought with them the best of Turkey. And so the Dornier Kabab is a wonderful sandwich to have.
Yeah, and you'd say, well, why don't you just get one in the U.S.? It's actually quite difficult to find, at least in the areas we live, because it's not a gyro. It's not like when you go to a Greek and get a gyro pita. It's kind of served a little bit the same, but it's not that pressed meat thing. They actually take raw meat and they stack it on a vertical spit, and then they rotate it, and as it chars on the outside, they shave it off, and it's all these little, crispy, juicy little pieces of meat, and they put it into a fresh baked, if you get a good one, into a fresh baked, fluffy bread with lettuce, onions, peppers, and of course a yogurt sauce. And it was we finally found a good one. We tried one in New Zealand, and we found a pita or a Dornier house there. It wasn't very good. This one hit the mark.
It did. It was, it scratched our itch for Dornier kebabs.
I hope at some point we get more of these over in the U.S. and it may be a health thing that they don't like the raw meat stacked there all day or something. I don't know, but I hope we get more over here because they are absolutely fantastic. And when you're in Germany or Turkey, be sure to have a Dornier Kabab. They're just absolutely excellent.
Agreed.
Well, we left the lunch place after that wonderful little meal, or big meal actually, and we actually met up then with some friends at a local pub. They're in Germany. They wanted to have a German beer, so we went to
Löwenbräu Kiel.
Yeah, we did. We just really sat and had a beer with friends. This is a kitschy little place. I'd certainly recommend it. Our friends had their lunch there. They wanted more of a German lunch, and they said it was very good. You can have a German beer, sit down, just enjoy it. And the nice thing is it's a Bavarian beer, not a Northern German beer. So,
like that.
Yeah. So, no, we enjoyed it a lot. It's a little bit of a kitschy place. Like I said, the owner he's owned this place forever. He opens when he wants, closes when he wants. So you might really check and see if it's open when you go. But it was a lot of fun going there.
Yeah. Well, following that, we were in that shopping district. One of the things that I wanted to get was, this is the point where my knees are really bothering me, and I'm thinking, well, maybe some collagen will help. So we did go to the local pharmacy there, and in my best German, I asked for collagen, and she gave me some, or sold me some, and so I'm going to start taking that in hopes that it will help.
Yeah, and this also brings up a little bit of a pro tip, I guess we'd say. If you're having an ailment and you're especially in the European countries, any place like that, never hesitate to go into the pharmacy, apotheca, whatever it might be called. They're usually very helpful and quite often do speak English.
Yes.
So, they're always there to help. The medications and things might be different than what you're used to back home, but they're always there to help. So don't be afraid to walk in and just, work with them to try to explain what your ailment is, and they're very helpful.
Right. Well, following that, one of the places that we saw was a TK Maxx. Now, if you know anything about TJ Maxx and Home Goods, TK Maxx is the same. It's just the European version of the TJ Maxx. And I love shopping at TJ Maxx and Home Goods, so I hadn't been in one in almost a year, and so it was time to go in and see what they had, and it was very much the same. It was very, very narrow, but it was several floors high, so I went up to the top floors just to kind of look at the Home Goods. That's some of my favorite things to shop for, and didn't get anything, but it sure was fun to poke around there for a while.
And see how it compares to back home. Did it scratch your itch?
Very much the same.
Very much the same. Well, we're really not huge shoppers, believe it or not, after what you just said. So, just going and window shopping and doing all that really isn't. Certainly, if you like to do that, Kiel is a great place to go. Hit the main shopping streets, lots of stores and things like that. But, it was rainy, cold. We weren't going to go to the botanical gardens because of that. So we just decided to head back to the ship and call it a day.
Well, now it's time for our ship to pull away, and we're going to head to Copenhagen. Now, if we were going to go the direct route to Copenhagen, we'd have to go under the Øresund Bridge. Our ship won't fit under that. Our ship is 206 feet tall, and the Øresund Bridge is 187. So
math doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. So we have to go up and around so that we can just go under the Great Belt Bridge. And this is a huge bridge. It's 11 miles long.
Right. A lot of people came out certainly to watch this sailing. We took video of it. You can see us sailing up to the Great Belt Bridge. It's a beautiful bridge to go under. We're actually very fortunate we got to go under it and to see it. And you can see here as we sneaked right under the Great Belt Bridge. Well, we did ask the captain, so how close were we there? And in this case, because I happen to know the clearances, we probably had a good 20 feet. It doesn't look like that, but we had quite a bit of clearance between the top of the ship and the bridge. Well, tomorrow in Copenhagen, we're going to get off, and it's a bit of a nightmare. You're going to want to see this. We had a little issue getting off and getting some transportation into town.
It was busy.
It was one of the most packed cities we've been to. But we ended up having a great time, and we do see the top sites in Copenhagen. So we're going to show them to you so you can plan your own trip to Copenhagen.
So don't miss it, friends. We will see you very soon. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.